Genius of rock and roll. Well, hello and welcome to the Daily Atheist Morning Show. I am your host, the amazing Super Chris Mallard. Thank you for joining me today. I've got my wonderful co-host, Miss Ryan, is in the wings waiting to do the thing at the place with the stuff for the people. You guys indeed are the people. I hope you've had a good week this week. It's Thursday. It's also, Turkey Day for those who are into Turkey Day. We'll talk about that because, we got to talk about it. But actually, today is the cusp. Like now after today, it actually starts Christmas season. And you know how us atheists just love Christmas.
Hello all, Chris Mallard here, atheist extraordinaire, host of the Daily Atheist Morning Show, and currently burning in hell. Oh, don't worry about me. I'm not dead. I'm just down here for the annual Christmas party. I mean, annual solstice awards party. The Dark One, or Lucy as he is affectionately known, is personally handing out the awards. Aaron Ra is getting the award for the most souls brought down by evolution for his African fossil hunt, and Matt Dillahunty has won the Golden Phallus Award for being a dick to the most Christians. Oh wait, it's the Golden Fallacy Award for the confusing the most Christians. Easy mistake to make. To top it off, Seth Andrews has lent his voice to the Gregorian chants this year. It's delightfully hellish. Gotta run. I hope you all had a happy Thanksgiving, if you're into that sort of thing, and I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. A happy holidays, happy solstice, and a happy new year. Stay safe, heathens. Party hard, fornicate, that sort of thing, but do it safely.
All right, we are back. Look at that. Surprised me. I wasn't even paying attention. Who wasn't paying attention? I wasn't paying attention. You guys, you don't even have to pay extra for that. That's free. All right, good morning, everybody. I have got my amazing, wonderful co-host, Miss Ryan, here. Let's bring Ryan up on the screen. Hello. There's a glow about you this morning, Ryan.
The sun is out.
Yeah. Sure. Use reason and logic. I was going to claim you were possessed by the devil.
The glory of the Lord is shining upon me today.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
His light is revealing to me all the secrets. It's a grand revelation.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Or you have your chakra is full. Maybe your chakra.
Yeah.
Have you checked that? There's like a fill meter on there. I think you can pull it out. It's like a dipstick.
And, just to make sure the filter's clean, because you gotta.
That's right.
You gotta check that every once in a while. Maintenance.
That's right, exactly.
Chakra maintenance. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, $39.95 at your local oil movie place. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for joining us. Ryan, it's Thursday. The week is almost over. It is of course the holiday. Some of us, we're having family. Because we do the family thing. A lot of people out there are going to do the family thing. But Rainbow Ash says you look beautiful, by the way. And John Hudson has not had his movement. He is not awake yet. So, but they'll get there. Anyway, we've been talking this week about how people left the faith, why they left the faith,
Mm-hmm.
And so I figured I would follow it up today because tomorrow's Sci-Fi Friday. We ain't gonna mess with no Sci-Fi Friday with no religious nonsense. But so today I just kind of followed up with how have you healed, or how do you recommend people to heal after leaving the faith, after deconstructing the religious trauma syndrome? I'd never even heard of it. I mean, it kind of makes sense.
It does. I hadn't heard of it until I came out and started recovering and spoke to a therapist, and it's like,
yeah,
what are these things? I wouldn't assume that someone like me would have PTSD or complex PTSD. Right. Because of a religion. That was wild. Right. That was wild to me. I was like, wait, a religion can make that happen to you? But it all made sense because of the way I lived in fear all the time. I didn't know who I was or who I was supposed to be. I felt like every day I would wake up and wonder, okay, who was I going to be today? Could I be that perfect Christian that God loved, or was I going to be that sinner that could die any minute and possibly take other people with me? So yeah, no wonder you have trauma and fight or flight. All those things that your body just kind of goes into naturally when you think that something bad is going to happen, that Armageddon could be upon you
at any moment.
Right.
Yes, it's one, when you're in it, it's hard to think, oh wow, this could be harmful and poisonous and toxic. But once you're out of it and exposed to the truth and nature of what it is, it's kind of hard to not be. It's like almost obvious whenever you see how religion has treated people, women especially, for the last 18,000th years. You know, I mean, it is trauma.
Well, you also find like have someone to tell you, like, no, you weren't crazy. Like when you felt uncomfortable, when it didn't feel right to you, that's because you were right. What was happening was wrong, but I didn't have the language for it. I didn't have anybody to stand up for me, or I didn't even have the voice myself to stand up for other people either, which is why now I take it upon myself to use my big mouth.
you have quite a voice. You're very productive, prolific. No, you crank out a lot of material. I think maybe it's your TikTok roots, perhaps. When you apply it to YouTube, it sure does make for a lot of content. You kind of drop a lot of
Shorts are easy.
Shorts are it's what they want you to think. Hi, little buddy. Me? Ollie had a haircut yesterday. It did not go well. I mean, it went well, I guess. He looks okay, but I really missed a few spots. And now his eye, he sees his little eye there. He has an eye over here, and it was red, and we got it fixed. And now this one's got all red.
Oh, it's wet.
I know. And if y'all are nice, he'll even give you a puppy yawn here in a minute. No extra charge this time. He's a good dog. He's a good puppy dog. I'm gonna have to. Like I said, we're having family today, and I didn't mess him up just a tiny little bit. I still got some trimming to do on the little man, so I probably because it took a long time. You'd think as little as he is, but there's a lot of fight. Yes, he's squirmy. There's a lot of fight and struggle in this animal.
I believe
and then
it.
Anytime you get back near his rear end. He starts this, and he does not like it.
Hey.
He's like, that is my hygiene area. You need to leave it alone.
He's like, you don't, that's my no-no. I didn't give you permission to touch my no-no spot.
No consent, he says, no consent.
Traumatized.
Usually, because he's so curly, if you don't get on him kind of regular, he ends up carrying poop around in his butt hairs.
Yeah.
We call them little Trumpies. Anyway, so we usually team up on him, and I'll hold him, and she'll take care of his hygiene area, as it's called. Yeah. But goodness gracious, little man, he's really gotten where he likes to sit with Papa a lot.
Does he?
He does. He
loves his daddy. He knows he's going to get snuggles and pets.
He does. He does. Of course, the evil one has the lap of luxury. So I guess, if she were sitting, she's actually working now, preparing for stuff. But if she were sitting, he'd be out there doing the thing. Good morning, Deviant Outcast. Look at the trees, Secular Feelinist, A Goddess, that's you. Thank you all for joining us. I wonder why, is YouTube ever going to fix itself where it says their names again? Or is that just
I don't know.
What's up with that?
They had fixed it for a short while, and then it went right back.
They did, and then it did. Yes. And this is just going to bug me until I do something about it. Give me just almost more gooder. There we go. Because I adjusted my camera this morning.
Well, yesterday my green screen was just gray screen. It was just almost the sunlight again. It just gets so much sunlight in here. If the curtains aren't at the appropriate width apart, it's either pitch black or too bright.
One or the other. But as it travels across the morning sky, it does tend to change a little bit sometimes.
It does tend to change.
Let me go here though and see if I can do a little thing. Go here. Boop, boop. Can I make yours better? Mm-hmm. So are you prepared for tomorrow? Have you had the opportunity to check out the latest?
We're going to watch it tonight.
Okay.
But we do have it, so we will watch it.
You do? Okay. That reminds me that if I get the opportunity this evening, I need to watch it with the evil one. She may be exhausted and not want to, having family over is very taxing for everybody, so she may not want to watch it. But
I'm sorry. I do like having guests. Sorry.
Yeah. There are things sometimes you're like, I want to do that. And you sign up for it. And then the day comes and you're like, oh, fuck, I don't want to go get dressed and do that. Yeah, it's I'm usually that way about everything. And that's why people have been like, hey, man, you want to come stream with us? We're going to do this thing. I'm like, no, I don't really. Because I would almost normally say, yeah. And then that day be like, fuck, I got to go do the thing. I like the people. They're great. I just don't. You know what I mean? So I've been learning to say no.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, do you want to come stream with me? I'm like, no.
I just get so much anxiety about stuff for no. It's ridiculous. Like I get mad at myself for being so dumb, but I can't control it. Then you get mad at yourself for being mad at you. You know, it's like one of those things. Like if you cry and you don't want to cry, and then you're mad at yourself for crying, and then you're even crying harder because you're mad, and it's that mad cry.
It's one of those, huh?
Emotions.
Good morning, Pale Horse. Rainbow Ash is here too. Native Atheist. Good morning, Native Atheist. Left-Handed Jedi snuck in. I actually enjoy, I think, all three of the movies as well. They start getting, sorry, I'm dropping shit. They start getting a little into the magic and woo. And I don't know, that's a little harder for me to process, maybe, but it's okay. It doesn't, it is what it is. I've gotten past it. Yeah. Pale Horse is a gray old dude, by the way. I got you. See, it doesn't let us know. So it's a thing. What's the third one? The third one I think is just called Riddick. Riddick. So the first one's Pitch Black. The second one is Chronicles of Riddick. Oh yeah, thank you, Left-Handed Jedi. And then Riddick. There was a cartoon movie produced about the same time as the second one, I think. Oh. So you can watch that one too. I don't remember what it's called. And then I think they're coming out with a new one called Furia, or scheduled to come out next year. That one there, if that actually happens, that'll be what, 12 years after the last one dropped. That's quite a span. There's only a few things I really know Vin Diesel from. Groot, of course. This Riddick, and then he did the voice of Iron Giant, and I've never even seen Iron Giant. And that's it, really. I mean, there's the Driver Fast and Furious movies, but other than that, I don't really know what else.
I think he's seen every single one of those.
Really?
Fast and Furious. Yeah, he's a little car boy.
Oh, he's into that. See, I hear that. I've never seen any of them, but I hear they change over time drastically. But
probably.
But I don't know. So that's quite a commitment. I want to say I'll watch them someday, but I probably won't.
How many was there? Like 20?
I know there were a lot. There were many, a great many. And,
I think I watched probably like the first couple-ish.
Yeah, I think the first couple were sort of realistic to a degree, but by the time they got to the later ones, they were like jumping from building to building in the cars and doing all kinds of just really stupid shit.
Hardcore parkour.
Oh yeah, carpour.
Yeah, carpour.
Yeah, because cars don't do that.
They don't do those things.
Oh, there was this one movie. What was it called? Oh, it had Mark Wahlberg in it, and he's like this person who he dies, but he keeps reliving. He lives on, and I don't know, he's reborn or whatever, and he can remember his past lives. And in this movie, whatever, they've got these bad guys, and they come after him in this building, and they do it in a car. And they're chasing him through a building in a car, like a little race car, sports car kind of outfit. And, a single wall, just one little studded wall would make that little car never, ever go again. And yet it blasts through this building, chasing him down, knocking all these things over, desks out of the way, comes blowing out the other side of it without a fucking scratch. And I'm like, well, I don't know if you guys know this. Cars don't do that.
They don't do those kind of things.
This is the same movie where a C-130 is flying along like this, and there's a cliff, and Marky Mark, gets on a motorcycle and jumps onto the wing of the fucking plane. That's just bad.
Like, y'all are just doing too much.
Yeah,
like
much.
You're just doing so much. Like, we know that is not gonna happen. This is not sci-fi. Like, stop.
Right. Oh yeah. And there's that one. Oh, what was it with the new Spider-Man guy, Tom Holland? It's a movie. It's an adventure, like a Indiana Jones sort of thing. Anyway, it opens up with him. Then again, a C-130, a big huge airplane, and it's got its tail open and it's dragging all these boxes, crates, and there's like a box and then like straps and then a box and straps, and they're just falling out the back because they've actually fallen. And here's Tom Holland, and he's on one of the lighter ones, and he's jumping from box to box to get up to the, and I'm like, that's just stupid. They're like 400 miles an hour.
What
The wind alone, you know.
That reminds me of like the games we used to, well, like we still play, where you jump on like the boxes that are floating on air and then zip. No, that don't work.
Yeah. So there's that.
Fun,
so
cool
fun.
Ideas, right? Like if you're just wanting to stretch the imagination, sure, why not?
Yeah. I guess so. I find though that things like that, I get it, but things like that pull me out of it. You know, if they had just put a rope there and the kid had to just kind of, that'd have been more realistic than him jumping from box to box.
Exactly.
I mean, these boxes are flying behind a fucking airplane, just floating, and they're just taps. And they're huge boxes. They're crates, like, you know, the size of a car or some shit. They're huge, but still. Based on a video game. Yeah, well, let's see. Did somebody say the name of it? It was based on a video game. True enough. So that makes it okay, though, really. Good morning, Anani. Yeah, still a better love story than Twilight. True enough. So is Friday the 13th.
I think Twilight's a better plot than Christianity.
Oh, is it? You know, it may very well be. I don't know, though. Isn't that kind of weird? Isn't there I've never seen the movies, but I have a certain level of understanding of the characters. And my understanding is that Edward is like 108 years old or some shit, even though he looks like a teenager.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's cruising high schools for teenage girls. Why is this not wrong? Why? I mean, it's the whole, and they're both that way, right? The werewolf guy is the same way. He's a lot older than he looks, and he too is hitting up on these 17-year-old. I don't know.
I don't know about the werewolf guy. I think he's actually young, but definitely, I think so.
Edward is definitely older. Right?
Edward is admittedly so. He's older.
Yeah. He's like, hello there, you 17-year-old hottie. You, at least, at best, I would guess, if she's in high school, you know, 16, 17. I'm just saying, that's kind of a weird way to go with it.
Detroit Atheist Queen, we just don't have lives.
What was the question?
She said, I'm surprised there's no show today. I mean, there's a show today. Excuse me.
Well, you know, I mean, it's not really one of my favorite. I mean, I enjoy it for eating and for hanging out with folk, but it's not a thing. And you know, were it not for just needing the time off, I would still just stream on Christmas Day too. I might not, just because, you know, right now, just at the point, because I already just told Purple I wasn't going to.
Oh, did you? Okay, yeah. So we're not streaming Christmas.
It would seem that way. Yeah. Okay. I mean, we want baby Jesus to be sad. We don't want baby Jesus being sad.
Yeah, you know, we gotta give him one of his birthdays. I mean, he's got a few. We still haven't necessarily nailed down the correct one, so we might as well just pick the most popular one. And
that's a good one. That's good. You know, actually, it's not. It's really a selfish thing. It's not about baby Jesus. It's about me. I need some self-care. I get the opportunity and there's just some irony. People are like, wait. The Atheist Morning Show didn't stream on Christmas? That's weird. Sure, yeah.
We're taking the holiday off.
You're taking the holiday off. But, you know, sometime between now and then, I'll probably like, why am I taking the holiday off? There's not any presents under the tree.
Do you put a tree up?
No.
Yeah, we don't either. No. We've been putting it for a few years.
Yeah, and I don't remember us here ever doing that here with me and the evil one since we've been together. I don't remember. Maybe we did in the beginning, and I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't know. We usually kind of somewhere along the way we'll be like happy winter solstice thing, and that's pretty much the extent of it. Yes.
I wouldn't mind trying to start like a new tradition with the kids, some kind of solstice thing, but I'd have to come up with it and then execute it.
There you go. Well, yeah, you instead of Santa Claus, you could do Satan Claus.
Ooh.
And yeah. Secular Claus.
Secular Claus. That's pretty good. That could work.
It's interesting. How many kids around the world worship Santa Claus or whatever? Maybe not worship, but you know what I mean. But Santa Claus is a Catholic thing. It's
Is that
Saint
where-
Claus. He's a saint.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. He's a saint of the Catholic Church. So it's like St. Valentine's Day. How many people are out there throwing around Valentine's Day things that aren't Catholic people?
Right.
Because Valentine is the saint of the Catholic Church.
See how easy it is to get pulled into holidays?
It is.
And I just think back to like early Christianity and trying to get in where they fit in. Of course, they were going to do something similar.
Yeah.
Just to get in with what everybody else was doing. And then once they became popular enough, it was now theirs. These holidays were now, they own them.
That's
outright.
right. And a lot of them don't even make sense. Easter, Esther. I mean, come on, they didn't even change the name.
I don't get it. I'm sorry. I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's just not for me. I think it's just so silly. If you want to eat chocolate and stuff, like, just do it. Just call it chocolate moss. I don't care.
There you go. Yeah.
But feeding me this whole damn story just so you can sell me a product is just ridiculous.
Right. Yeah, there was a time where it was just I say just but it was, more of a religious thing. And then it did get commercialized to the hilt.
Yeah. It's barely tradition anymore. It feels like perfunctory, like we have to do this. Like people start to get so. I know I felt that way sometimes during Christmas. Like I got to get people a gift. Like how much can I spend? Like it became so much more like hassle instead of me wanting to do something for somebody that I care about.
Right.
And I didn't like that.
That makes sense. Oftentimes, one of the things that I find, and this is not just in my current world, but in previous worlds, is that holidays like this tend to be very stressful because the in-laws, who are always judgy, doesn't matter who they are, doesn't matter which family, they're always judgy. Even if they're not judgy, you think they're going to be judgy. So there's always this preparation beforehand. You got to clean everything you don't normally clean. You got to do all the things that you don't normally do because these people are coming, these people who probably don't even give a shit about those things. And then, it's a lot of stress. And then, are they going to like the food? Yeah. Are they going to like this meal or this dish or this dish? Is, am I going to cook that right? That's on top of it. Is it going to be clean enough? And, is my jackass husband not going to get drunk and get stupid?
Oh, God. But I know that there's probably so many families who that's like a big boiling point for them is like, oh, God, I hope dad or uncle doesn't drink too much today. Like, please. Please, Lord Jesus.
Shashir Bagat, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Says, Ryan and Chris, how do you both enjoy your days without festival? We festive. We do festive. I festive here. I festival over there. I festival over here. I'm not afraid. I am not afraid to party on your holiday. I have zero problem, because it's actually not your holiday, not you. I'm sorry, I don't know what you are, Shashir. I'm talking about Christians. I have no problem partying on their holidays because their holidays are actually our holidays. They stole Christmas from solstice. Easter, like we just mentioned, is actually Esther. That's kind of a European, what do you call it? Fertility goddess kind of thing. There are lots of things that Christianity has stolen. That's how I do it. If we even bother to do it. I mean, it's like, last Thursday, I'm not sure what you were doing, Shashir, but I'm assuming you weren't partying and festiving last Thursday because it was just another Thursday. For a lot of people, today is just Thursday.
Yep.
So, it's not like their lives are lessened because they don't festive or festival. You know what I mean? Just saying. And the older
be festive for
right, and the older I get, the less I appreciate Thanksgiving. I mean, I like the gathering, the thing, but there's this whole smoke screen to where people don't know. Sorry about that. People don't know the real history, or they don't appreciate the real history, or they whitewash the real history of Thanksgiving. And yeah, those things bother me. So it's sort of like Christmas. We do have Christmas with family. But we never sit around talking about Jesus. There's never any prayers.
Right.
It's always about gift exchange.
Mm-hmm.
We go gift exchange. We hang out. We talk. We catch up. And that's it. There's no Jesus involved. It's just a gathering.
It's kind of a shame. Like we get these holidays to have off. Most people, I would say, a majority of business give people days off.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like serious matters and really important stuff such as politics and voting, we can't make that like a national holiday or monthly, for the whatever state, yada yada. So everybody gets to have off.
Real Talk, thank you for joining us this morning. Real Talk chimes in and says Jesus was born on December 25th. That's fascinating. Once again, I just want to help you out because I've kind of come to believe at some point that you're at least a little bit genuine concerning what's going on in your brain there. But Jesus wasn't born on December 25th. It was very unlikely. There are several reasons. You can go look in the Bible. The stars, I think, had something that the way they described the sky was a summer sky. The things like the shepherds being out in the fields at night with their flock is a summer thing. It's not a winter thing. And so all indications point to a summer before September birth of Jesus. So the whole 25th of December is actually their way of stealing what was Saturnalia, the Roman holiday of Saturnalia. Yeah, it's so, get around, exchange gifts, have sex. All right, so the Romans were a little more progressive than we are. But, that's where they got their, that's where they got the holiday, the Christmas thing. They just stole that. So
there was a lot of gods who had their special day around then, like the Sol Invictus, Mithras. And I actually think Sol Invictus, Mithras was like the same god, basically. But yeah, I think we talked before about how the very first recorded birthday of Jesus, I think, is January 6th. Something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was then changed. And why would that be changed? Likely because they want to fit in and get in with what the other popular religions are doing. And then eventually they rise to the power. And now it was always there.
Rainbow Ash and Lieutenant Jai both point out that he wasn't born at all. And I dig it. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I am indeed receiving what you're broadcasting. At this point, we're just kind of talking about, and I'm just talking about here with our new friend in the chat, and that it's really just pointing out how something that individual believes to be true is incorrect. And so we have to work on the presumption that Jesus was born. Going on that presumption, Jesus was born based on the text. He was probably born in the summer, by all indications in the text. So that in and of itself would disprove our new friend's notion that he was born, if he was born, in December. Yeah. So I like to throw out there, if you're wrong about that, what else are you wrong about?
That wrong. The JWs also believe that Jesus was born more likely during like a warm period because of all the things that you mentioned, the shepherds out in the field, like that would be unlikely at a colder time
in the winters. That's right. See, I'm not as dumb as I look. I'm not. There are limits on my dumbness. I do know stuff. That's what I do. I drink coffee and I know stuff. Look at the tree, says Jesus wasn't born. He was a blowjob that was spit out on a tree stump and hatched in the sun. Wow. How do you really feel? Look at the trees. Good morning. Look at the trees. Took a little graphic turn on us there.
Right. Got a nice visual going on in my head now. Thank you.
Yeah. Good morning. Thank you for that. I think what we're going to do is I'm going to go refill my coffee real quick, clutch my pearls. And I guess we'll be back in just a minute and we'll continue doing the show. Let's take a break. Let's do this one.
Are you feeling the world is leaving you behind? Do you look at all the pseudoscience, rumors, and wild speculation on the internet and wonder, why can't I do that? Well, friend, you can. We can help you. We are Conspirowin.
Conspirowin has a long history of helping anyone with a hidden truth. We will get your message out. The conspiracy theories you see today all started out with one person's vision. The moon landing hoax was launched by a NASA engineer whose manager didn't okay his vacation request. Conspirowin was there to help out. Christianity started out because one little girl named Mary got pregnant out of wedlock, and Conspirowin saved the day. Now, the virgin birth is accepted Catholic doctrine. You may be thinking, but my idea of the center of the earth being made of ice is far-fetched. No one's going to believe that. In a world where people believe windmills cause cancer, we say no dream is too big. Conspirowin will take your fledgling idea and feed it to our YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok operatives. And these savvy social media professionals will raise doubts with the prevailing scientific consensus. They will say no one has ever seen the planet's core except Jesus. And science is wrong all the time. That's why science has theories and not Jesus. Within 30 days, we guarantee you CNN will run a story on how your conspiracy theory isn't true. We will also give you 100% assurance Fox News will say your crazy idea about the Earth's core being an icy ball is true. Follow your heart. Listen to the voices no one else can hear. Team up with Conspirowin.
Good morning, Dade. Oh, where'd she go? She was just there. Oh, there she is. Good morning, Dade Murphy. Thank you for joining us. Flockmeister is here with Dade Murphy. Lil of All Trades came in. Cool. Thank you guys for joining us this morning. We've been talking about some interesting things about, the topic of the show today is about how to recover after deconstructing. Some people have had what they call religious trauma syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
And although I never really thought about it, it does seem so obvious now that there would be such a thing. So let's see. Dave Murphy says, "Fuck Thanksgiving." That said, excuse me, Frederick Douglass, Dr. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, James Baldwin didn't celebrate it, and neither do I. There you go. Lots of people. Yeah. And that's the whole thing. I do hang out with family. Because it's a family thing,
I think a lot of people do that because they don't have, because we only have certain days off.
Yeah,
I was saying before, you know what I mean? Like it would be different if we had other random days off, but everybody ges that day off. So it kind of makes sense that's where you get together. I mean, there's weirdos like me who are going to clean today and throw stuff in a dumpster, but.
But yeah, hopefully it'll be dry.
But I would rather be doing that. Because I don't give a fuck about Thanksgiving either. So I'd rather make wise of my time that I have off.
That's right. Kelly Laughlin says, didn't think Chris would have a show today. Yeah,
Get in, loser.
I appreciate you, Kelly, obviously. I don't know why people would assume that I wouldn't take, or that I would not stream on the holiday, especially like Christmas. Again, I think the only reason why I said yes to purple was because it just seemed like weird. Sure, I'll take that. Of course, I've been a little burned and not wanting to do anything. So I think that had something to do with it. But had I had seconds to stop and think about it, I would have said, yeah, I'm streaming. Hell yeah. Why would I not stream?
Right.
Maybe Jesus. And then, if I may reach out to Purple and tell Purple, hey, if you don't have anybody for that schedule, go ahead and sign me back up, because might as well. The Flockmeister says, say my real name, bitch. And he's talking to J.K. Rowling. I think it's Chick Magnet. See?
Yeah.
You thought I forgot. I did forget. Dave Murphy says, I'm glad you're streaming. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it. I had nothing else going on this morning. See, that was what me and the wife were talking about. Would we get more people today because people are home and they're off and they're not having to work, or fewer people today because they're off and they don't have to get up, so they're sleeping? Yes. Kelly says, glad you're here. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you guys for glad y'all are here too. I mean, it's really, I really appreciate you. I want to try to figure out, I've got things we're going to try to do to try to grow the show. You know, we gotta. I really feel like we should get some growth. We have not had growth. Oh, that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna post the YouTube links and the Facebook. Wait a second. The YouTube show links in Facebook over on all the Philip Lister's groups, and I forgot to do that.
Oopies.
I was going to do that today. Space Pirate is here. Says, I'm not American, but it seems like Thanksgiving is bigger than Christmas in the U.S. No, not really.
I think more people travel. I think allegedly Thanksgiving is the day where most people travel.
I think that's right.
But Christmas, they stay more locally. So maybe that's why it seems bigger.
But Christmas is really a huge. Thanksgiving is like Christmas is really big. It's more child involved. It's got a lot more. It's just really huge here. I'm not sure about where y'all are, but here it's that way. John Hudson says, I'm thankful for the totally fantastic life that I've built for myself. I have no need to work, but I am able to work and do for fun and profit. Cool. See, that's all you need.
Are you single? That's the question.
Well, he is potent.
Do you want to be my sugar daddy, John?
There you go. She's down for sugar daddies. There are a lot of things you have to be thankful or grateful for in the world, and none of them have anything to do with God or religion. If anything, some people could be grateful to themselves for being wise enough to step away from their religion, and thankful to themselves that they did.
Oh, God.
I could see that. Yeah.
It just hit me.
What hit you?
Thinking about all of these Christians gathered around the Thanksgiving turkey saying how thankful they are for President Trump. I want to gag.
Oh, my goodness. I hadn't even thought about that. That's painful on the brain. It does inflect the gag reflex a little bit.
Yeah, my butthole like percolated a few times.
Right. But my taint remains unchanged.
My taint is tight, honey.
That's actually a quote from Resident Alien.
Oh.
The sheriff comes up to the guy and he's like, snatch up your taint. Or he's like, your taint's going to get all something. And the guy later, who takes almost everything really literally, he's like, well, my butthole is clenched and I'm somewhat, but my taint remains unchanged.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, and we went there on the show. AR, thank you for joining us this morning. Finest plug-in says no sugar daddy for me. I'm diabetic. That would be that'd be an interesting way to go. I'm too cheap to be a sugar daddy. Real Talk asks, why do you celebrate Christmas if you are atheist? I don't get it. Well, we don't celebrate Christmas. There's a difference between celebrating Christmas and taking the day off. You're given the day off. If there's an opportunity to hang out with family and friends, you could go do that without sitting around going, dear baby Jesus, thank you for this day. As a matter of fact, and we were just talking about this, Real Talk, Christianity stole this religion from pagans, or this holiday from Christianity, or Christmas. They stole that from pagans. That's a theft. They stole that. So how can you, in good conscience, celebrate Christmas, knowing that Jesus, if he was born, almost certainly was not born in the summer? And point two, that the holiday specifically was ripped off from another religion. How does that make you feel? Does that bother you?
Like Jesus never commanded people to do that or asked people to do that. Right. What he wanted people to do was eat his body and drink that blood. That was really what he wanted people to focus on, not when he was born. So they didn't, which is why in Mark, the very first gospel, it doesn't even mention, it doesn't even talk about it because it wasn't important. That's why they don't even say anything about hey, when this day rolls around, we want you to be under a tree and unwrap present. No,
that's right. As a matter of fact, au contraire, on the contrary, exactly. Let me now here's the other thing. I told you that they stole the religion from pagans. Here's an actual scripture from the Bible. And I want to find out, Real Talk, I hope you're still watching, how you or any other Christian in the chat reconciles this. Jeremiah says, it's not there. The customs of the people are worthless, for one cuts a tree from the forest and a craftsman shapes it with his chisel. They adorn it with silver and gold. They fasten it with a hammer and nails so it will not totter. They are saying, do not do this. This is a pagan religion, a pagan religious thing, and you're not supposed to do it. Joshua 10:3-5. So you go reconcile yourself with that one, where your Bible tells you that this is a pagan exercise.
It's idol worship. There's so much idol worship in Christianity. I'm flabbergasted at how they have the audacity to come at me for wanting to enlighten people about Asherah. Well, you need to sit all the way down, because how dareth you? You got this tree, this ornamental tree, as you just read, that you're not even supposed to have, but yet you say that my, Asherah tree that's it's a freaking decorated stick. It is bad. It's full of demons, evil spirits.
Evil spirits. Rainbow Ash asks, where is that in the Bible? It is Jeremiah 10:3-5.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
And this, all right, let me read this to you. This is context. I'm just going to read on what it says here. Context is, in this context, God is rebuking the Israelites.
I rebuke you.
For adopting the customs of the surrounding nations. Yeah. Stop turning your head, Chris, because which involved creating wooden idols to be worshipped. Christmas trees.
Oh,
It even describes them. It literally describes a Christmas tree. Now, Berthelma said that Berthelma doesn't worship or doesn't celebrate birthdays or Christmas. And why not? Now, I could get the Christmas thing, maybe, but why not birthdays? Is it because who was killed and they're beheaded? John the Baptist was killed on his birthday or given as a birthday?
I think there were like two incidences around birthdays that were kind of negative, but I think that, and again, they take it so literal instead of seeing it about somebody who asked for something that they shouldn't. Right? They always tend to take the wrong bad thing. No, the bad thing was somebody asking for that and then somebody accommodating them. Shit, it's not the birthday. You're so silly.
Right. That's right. It just boggles my brain how these people.
The grape story. We talk about the grape story in Sodom and all the time. It goes to pointing at the wrong thing. No, it's about a father shouldn't have tried to give his daughter away, firstly. And then secondly, those dudes shouldn't have been wanting to harm somebody just to prove a point, just to show their power. Not about the butt stuff, you dipshit.
But they focus on the wrong thing.
It's always the wrong lesson. Like, why wasn't the lesson of Abraham selling his wife that he was a piece of shit forever selling his wife?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Did he sell her or did he just gave her away? Actually, it was more a barter, wasn't it? It was
probably,
like
transactional.
And he did it several times, or at least twice that we know of.
Twice. And then
if you're going to brag about it in your holy book, if you're going to brag about being that kind of shitty person in your holy book, what did these people really do? How horrific were they really? And we just don't even know about it.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
And even, so even the Abraham story where it happens twice in Abraham's respective, it's just a doublet. It's just but that just goes to show you that story was so popular. There were different fucking tribes with different stories about this man selling his half-sister wife. Like, that doesn't make it any better, sweetie.
And even if we keep it in the original context of the story it's in itself, that's two instances. I think separate myself. I think they're separate because they end separately, but that's cool. It's cool. That doesn't matter. Right. But then the grandson comes along and does it too.
Right.
Why would you put that in your holy book? The leaders of your religion, the people you worship, were fucking horrific. Horrific. From Abraham all the way down to Adam, or all the way down to what the hell? Jesus, really? I guess if you want to go there. Yeah. Because remember, without Jesus, we wouldn't have hell. No hell before Jesus. Jesus brought hell.
Jesus. Appreciate you,
Jesus.
Thanks for that gift.
Yes. Left-Handed Jedi says Trump has been a Russian asset for decades. Indeed.
Man, boy, it is coming out. I'm
Let's see. Real talk. The government is secular and not run by the Bible. Y'all should be happy with this. Okay, let me stop you again. Once again, my friend. Once again, you're wrong. The government is supposed to be secular. Supposed to be secular. However, Donald Trump has actually declared that he's made rules, and he's declaring Christianity the official religion of the United States. You knew that, didn't you? You knew he came up with the, what's it called? What's that office called? The Office of...
there's the Anti-Christian Bias Task Force, the
Anti-Christian
office.
Yeah, no, it's the Anti-Christian Bias Task Force is one of them, where it actually goes around persecuting people who it feels are even slighting a Christian. If a Christian goes, I need a day off because that's part of my religious holiday, and you roll your eyes about it, they're supposed to report you, and you could lose your job for that. This is Donald Trump. This is our government right now. Once again, you don't know what you're talking about. It's amazing. It's amazing how almost every time you post in the chat, but it's good though. Maybe you'll learn something. But this government is not secular. It's supposed to be, but it's supposed to be. But yeah, it hasn't been for a long time. It hasn't been for. I guess it never really has in a way. But it never has been a thing where they flaunted it at you. Now, you'll notice there's been a couple of times where they've slipped things in, Christian things, into our government. One would be the In God We Trust on the money. The other one would be the under God, one nation under God in the Pledge of Allegiance. And both of those things came during a time of strife during the U.S., whenever the U.S. was beat down and Christianity tried to rear its ugly fucking head. First one would be the Civil War. That's where we got the whole In God We Trust on our money. We didn't have that before the Civil War, I think. I may be getting these back. But it had a lot to do with the Baptist preachers going up and down, and there was a lot of church foundings, because a lot of death and a lot of murder and it really did swell the church. And that was a product of the church. And the same thing with the one In God We Trust, one nation under God. That came in like the 40s, around World War II. In the United States, or maybe it's a little earlier than that, but it came in. These things are not supposed to be there. Yeah,
I wish we could remove it.
Yeah, and so even we named just those two things. How secular is that? But we do have that one, the Treaty of Tripoli. There is that.
Is that the one that people have been trying to bring up to stop some of this? The laws that they're trying to enact and stuff. Yeah,
that's where the founding fathers wrote a letter to somebody, probably Italy, I would guess. I don't know who they wrote. Anyway, they wrote a letter stating that they were in no way a Christian nation, because they were trying to form a treaty with these nations. And the nation was afraid that they were going to be dealing with the same kind of shit they were dealing with from the other religions. So I sure know how to paraphrase history. But there's that. So let me see here. Anani is here. Amy Nicole Cervantes finally rolled in. Good morning, slacker. What sins did y'all commit today? Well, see, that's the whole thing. Sin is related to the opinion of a creature. So whatever that creature thinks is bad is bad. So if waking up and getting off the left side of the bed is bad according to that creature, then we may have sinned. But that creature varies from person to person to person to person to person to, so it's really hard to pin down what is a sin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it seems like their sins are like rated kind of strangely.
They are. It's weird.
Like you'd think like rape and murder would be like
sin way up there.
Yeah, the biggest
but
sin
not.
No, it's kind of like if you blaspheme, like, God, I don't feel like bowing down to you today.
Yeah.
Ultimate sin.
That's about blaspheming the Holy Spirit is the most ultimate of sin. Not AR and a child or Hitler. And as long as he didn't, matter of fact, Hitler was a Christian, right?
Yeah, as long as you don't blaspheme God, you're good to go.
Yes. Real Talk says, Chris, is murder not a sin? Is it? I'm asking you, is it not a sin? And I say that because first you say, is it not a sin? And then I'm going to say, yes, it's bad, and your Bible says it's a sin, but the very next book, the very next chapter, God tells his people to go kill everybody. So is it not a sin?
Yeah,
Where is it not a sin? Oh, that's what I was talking about earlier. Whenever the opinion of a creature, whatever that creature thinks is bad, is a sin. That creature thinks killing people is bad. Well, that's a sin. But it thinks wiping out an entire group of people, genocide, is good. How do you?
Yeah. How do you correlate?
Yeah. I mean, if somebody does you wrong, it's okay to dash their children against the rocks. Psalms 126 tells you in a song that that's okay. They were singing a song. For those of you who don't know, it's actually a song. They were singing a song about killing other people's children.
Makes me happy thinking about
I'm
it.
interested to see the next question. These are fascinating questions. Really, when you stop and think about it, I'm like, wow, really? Really? I mean, you didn't know Christmas was stolen from Saturnalia from the Romans? You didn't know that, dude?
They probably got it from somebody else too. It's a Roman, everything.
Well, yeah, that's true. It just, like we were talking about with Dr. Kip that one day, it depends on how far back in time you go as to who is right? As to what is correct? What is the original? What is, I don't know. But it damn sure ain't Christmas.
What was it in context?
Yeah.
It's so hard to get to that.
Yeah. And you've also got Easter. That's the other big one in Christianity. But man, if you go even just look up the history of Easter, you will discover it is, yes, another holiday stolen from pagans.
There's a lot of similarities. There's so many. And the truth, like, I'm not going to like say that it's like bar for bar or anything like that. But if you go and read about how some of these festivals were described by some of the historians, and no, I don't remember who they are, but you can go research, you'll find where they say they have trees that they adorn or that they give gifts. It's pretty obvious that it might not be exactly how it was done, but they got the idea from somewhere.
Let's see. Fern Lovebond says, Chris, there's a lot of misinformation about Easter's pagan roots. I mean, the name of the holiday is taken from Esther, which is a pagan god. Literally, the name of the holiday is taken from Esther. And so I don't know. I would have to want to research that, Fern. I would say you're wrong on that one. I could be wrong. I like being wrong. I learn things when I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong on this one.
That one myself. I haven't read. I mean, I've looked into it, like Ishtar, because Ishtar is like a fertility.
What's with
goddess,
the eggs and the bunnies?
Yeah,
all signs of fertility.
Yeah, fertility symbols, right? Fertility but I don't know. Yeah, I haven't like done that deep dive.
Yep.
Kind of
and who is Easter? Esther, Eoster. Esther. How do you spell it? Not E-A, Esther. How do you spell Esther from Easter? It's
the O-E-S-T.
Maybe that's it. O-E-S-T.
Or something like that.
Esther, yeah.
Ostera. Is that what Robin said? Ostera? I don't remember.
Yeah. So you guys get me. Esther. That's right. The holiday is based around fertility, eggs, bunnies. They're all about making babies. So. All said in love, I'm just saying the plain linkage most pagans will claim is there isn't so plain and direct. I get you, Fern. But
I agree.
But isn't it? I mean, I just literally, the name of the holiday is taken from the pagan religion, and then they have the fertility symbols that have nothing to do with Christianity. Nothing. So I don't know. You're saying most pagans will claim there isn't so plain, but yeah, it's pretty plain. I think it's pretty plain. Myself.
Nana. I love Nana. She's also one of my favorites.
So that's cool. I mean, like it matters. It's not worth fighting over, to be honest. Ostra, I think of a month or a season in the Germanic regions. Yeah. Well, Ostra is actually, I think, a form of the word east in German. Oist. Anyway, the rabbit. Yeah.
All I know is that people don't just come up with shit pulling out of their ass. Yes, I know that some ideas do, but back then they was just kind of looking at each other going, oh, what are they doing? Well, I can do it better if we do it way.
That's right. I mean, yeah. So all these major holidays were stolen in one way or another from, you know, and you know, there's other things too, isn't it? Something about the holiday, the actual birth of Jesus. Whenever the things we get about Christmas and all that don't really have anything to do with the actual story of Jesus in the Bible. The story, you know what I mean, of what happened, the birth of Jesus in the Bible. It was like, we don't have a bunch of people sitting around wearing the clothes of Joseph and Mary and spending our time reenacting that. That's not the majority of it. The majority of it's Santa Claus and giving gifts and presents. And
yeah, it's like shifted to a whole different, as
none
Dave
of that
was
is
saying,
actually
it's more commercial. It's more about Santa Claus and the gifts that he's bringing than it is for Jesus and the ultimate, the ultimate gift of life.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So it's really an interesting thing. Chris George says, is not the dash against the rocks like revenge? It is. Jews captors did this to their royalty, not having kings. You know, it is. It is. It's actually a revenge. It's a song about revenge because their people had been killed before. That makes it right. That makes it okay to go kill other people's children. That makes it so okay to go kill other people's children who had nothing to do with what happened to your children and yours. That you're going to write that in a holy book, that you're not only going to write it in a holy book, that you're going to sing a song about it. That's how okay it is. You see where I mean, Chris, I appreciate your thinking, but you see where the logic falls out and how that's actually in any way, a moral action by this God creature. Interesting.
It is interesting how they would sit, like those would be song. I mean, a lot of the stories in the Bible, actually, the songs and just legends, etc., actually are about genocide and killing people. Like Esther, the book of Esther, it's at the end of the story, it comes down to this man, this bad guy who was a bad man, I think his name was Haman or something like that, wanted to kill some Jewish people. Not a good thing.
Right.
Bad man, piece of shit, no bueno.
Right.
But the reversal came, and then it was the Jewish people who decided to kill all those people who they thought were plotting against them. Whether they were or not, it didn't matter. It was, okay, well, all these people got to go.
Right.
So it was a story of oppression, allegedly, but it's just a story. But at the end of the story, they got their just goods by being able to slaughter everybody.
That's right. And you know, we actually have like repeat historical proof or evidence, if you will, that they make up these stories about being oppressed. You know, like the whole story of Moses and the people being in Egypt is entirely fabricated. They were never enslaved in Egypt and oppressed. It's entirely fabricated.
Yeah, but
so
then you have
but no, if you have somebody later on going back and warring against Egypt because of the stories in the Bible, then you've got somebody warring against something for a story that never happened. Just like we were talking about the other one we were talking about before, not having to do with that one. But you know what I mean. Go ahead.
But to your point, you create that story. You say, hey, listen, we were getting our asses beat. It was a really hard life. We had to work all day. We didn't get no payment for it. We couldn't even have time off to go worship our God. I mean, these people were just cruel. But now that just means that we get to be the ones who go do the same thing to other people.
Right.
Like, feel bad for me because you see this really bad thing happen to me. So you have to excuse me that I'm now going to go be that same person and do the same thing to these innocent people. Like, you have to accept that.
Except what if, and I'm with you, I feel that 100%. What if, though, the initiating event never happened?
No.
That's what I'm saying. What if they were never actually oppressed and they're teaching that they were, and those people go back? So how many children of Ammonites were dashed against the rocks because of a lie told in a story in the Bible?
Yeah, that's why they do it. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what that's to your point. I'm going to write a story about how bad it was for me. And now you're going to feel so bad for me. You're going to feel so bad for the poor little puny victim that now when I go and kill all these innocent people, you're like, well, they had to have a place to live, you guys. They needed to have their own home. You can't
Yeah.
blame them.
You can't.
Oh,
And, you
wow.
know, there's this one thing about, listen, man, you go over and take this land from these other people. But wait a second, didn't God create the earth and all this stuff? Why didn't he just put them in the land? And they lived there forever.
In the first
And then
place?
right. And I mean, always.
Why?
And then there's also the notion of why did he, if I remember right, if my understanding is correct, it wasn't just go there and take this land. It's go there, take this land, and kill everybody between here and there. There's a time in the Bible where there's something going on in the Bible, and the Lord in the city, I think it's in Jerusalem, and the Lord tells his followers, it almost sounds like it's in person, like he's right there with them. It says the Lord tells his followers to go kill the old men at the temple. Start with the old men at the temple and kill everybody in the city that doesn't worship God. But start with the old men in the temple. Do not spare your brothers. Do not spare your sisters. Do not spare anybody who does not worship correctly. This is the Lord. I think these Christians just don't know enough. Chris says that scripture did reporting not quite prescribed by a God and free will. I'm not sure which one you're talking about at this point. You're talking about the one we were talking about earlier. The scripture did reporting I'm not sure. I don't get you, Chris. Sorry, I don't get that. For an all-powerful, all-knowing, all-loving creator of all humanity, Yahweh sure does order a lot of slaughter between people who have to live near different sets of rocks. But one of the things is the Lord actually tells Abraham, listen, your children are going to get this land. Now, he does say it's going to be 400 years from now, which is an eternity for Abram, right? But he does. He still tells him, your descendants are going to get this land from this river to this place. And it never happens. It never, ever even remotely comes close to happening. And that's one of the first covenants with God.
Yep. They couldn't, there was never a united monarchy. They couldn't keep the ish together. There's such a huge conflation between Israel and Judah. It's like, okay, who are you really? Like, which people are you? Because you would have killed each other if you had existed at the same time. You know what I'm saying? You would have been fighting because you'd have been Yahwishing, Yahweebing, excuse me, I should say, Yahweebing differently. And that would have been a problem.
I think I noticed they're still going on in the chat with I forgot his name real quick. I forgot your name there, but I noticed you're going on about yourself with the whole, is murder a sin with real talk. I think what the problem we're having at this point is the vernacular you're using. You really shouldn't say sin, because as I tried to explain earlier, a sin is something a certain creature sees as bad. Some thing says is bad. Now, if you're going to say, is it morally wrong in our society? Maybe that would be a better way to go. But even still, that would depend. What is murder? Is murder when you go kill the guy down at the 7-Eleven so you can take his cigarettes? Is it also murder when the guy who kicks in your door and is at your home and you're trying to defend yourself because he wants to steal your cigarettes so you take his life? Is that also murder? Who decides? And I just don't think that the God of the Bible has any right to claim morality on who gets killed and who does not. I know you think your God creature is the one who created everything. So if it made you, it can kill you without, but that's a bunch of bullshit too. This creature demonstrates a severe disregard for life. It's almost, it enjoys misery and suffering. It tells the people, the Pharaoh of Egypt, I think it tells the Pharaoh of Egypt or somebody else around the Pharaoh that the reason why it hardened his heart was why, my friends? Why did it harden? So he could show his true powers to the people, and his true powers were plagues. That's the God. His true powers weren't love and people on a hill and lions sleeping with lambs and none of that business. His true self was the 10 plagues of Egypt. So there's this God creature I have no respect for what it thinks or its followers think of what is moral or immoral. And this whole argument about is death, is murder a sin? Well, man, you got to look at your own faith. We're talking in the billions of people who've been murdered in the name of this God, either because you got 3 different religions: Islam, Christianity, Judaism. How many people have been murdered in the name of this God? It's just staggering. It's almost insulting that you don't know and that you're asking the question.
And why would he let that?
Wow, he would encourage it. Why would he tell them, go kill everybody in that land and take the land, instead of going, I'm just going to give you that land, and use his magic God powers to make the people there either not there or make them leave, blink them out of existence or make them leave? Why have your people go murder all of them, man, woman, and child? I don't get that, because it's not a merciful God that does that sort of thing.
Are you sure? That's not mercy?
I'm sure. Let me, it looks like our chat is a little, the scripture verse does reporting not quite prescribed by God free will. I'm sorry, man, I still don't get that. One of the things, explain.
Wait, are you saying that it's reporting what people did, not that God is saying you should do this? I don't know. Either way, it died.
Either way, the point is that it's so ambiguous and not clear.
Yeah.
If it weren't, we wouldn't be talking about it.
Right. And she could be, or they, I'm sorry, could be exactly right about that. But
that's right.
People reading the scripture today, are they getting that context? And that's just part of the problem nowadays.
Absolutely.
It's lost to us. All we're seeing is like, well, if they're an enemy, let's pick up them babies and
right.
I'm whip that baby back and forth. I whip that. Sorry.
That's right. There's a certain level of you have to say, like, reading skill levels, you might think. So you've got skill level 5, maybe like a second or third grader, where they read it. Oh, hey, this says do this. Yeah. Then you've got kind of your college level reading, where they go into context and they look at it in the sequence. And they talk about the actual time and the year of when it happened and the circumstances that were going on. Nobody gets that. Nobody gets that. And people throughout history have sat around with these holy texts by themselves, at best with a religious nutbag teaching them stuff. They don't get the actual education. I know, right? Between two ferns. Good morning, everyone. Terry Beebe, thank you for joining us. I think my chat is behind.
Is it?
Woefully behind. It sure seems that way. Sorry if it seems that way.
Could be.
I'm just seeing things roll up on here that we talked about like a while ago.
Yeah. And like we have a lot against us. Different translations are going to make it sound different anyway, regardless of what an original or what we have as an original. It may not even be an original text anyway.
Yeah. So but the whole notion that the people now, or 60 years from now, or 150 years from now, or 300 years from now, looking at the holy text of the Bible, would sit there and go, oh yeah, that song is based on this, based on this, based on this. It's a subjective notion that God, and it's not actually, no, I think a lot of them, if you look at their actions, probably took it like, somebody else done you wrong. It's okay to do them wrong. Somebody did you the ultimate wrong. It's okay for you to do the ultimate wrong back to them. And we're going to sing a song about it. You thought metal was hardcore. So the story of Jesus is metaphorical. Could be. Let's see. Amy Nicole Cervantes. You know what? I think what we're going to do is I'm going to, the evil one is home and she's cooking some really good smelling stuff in there. I'm going to run a commercial and go stick my nose into the kitchen and see what's going on. Let's do the postmortem. What's that?
Yummy.
Yummy. Yeah, we'll be back in just a minute.
You have a loved one who's on their deathbed, but they've yet to give themselves up to the Lord?
Are you sure you don't want to come to Jesus?
No.
This is your final chance.
No.
Worried they're headed to the fiery pits of hell.
Your very last chance.
No. I've been wicked and sinful. I deserve to burn in the hot place.
As you wish. Farewell, my heathen husband.
Farewell, my...
Well, fear not, my wayward child. Introducing Father Flanagan's line of post-mortem baptismal kits. No more worries about being miserable alone forever. Be a good Christian and share that eternal pain and suffering with the ones you love.
I'm in hell. Not as hot as I thought it'd be. Kind of feels like Houston, minus the humidity. Hello. My favorite drink crafted to perfection. Ooh, and some dank ass weed.
I can't bear to be down on my face chanting, holy, holy, holy is the Lord, every day, all day, for all eternity, by myself.
Wow, is that George Carlin? And Alan Turing, look at that. Carl say, oh, I am so honored. You've been my hero since I was a kid. Neil deGrasse Tyson, what are you doing here? Oh, I get it. I get it. Schrodinger's heathen. Very cute, you. Very cute. That's fantastic. Oh, what is that? What is? It's holy water. Oh, it burns. No, this isn't where I want to be. Pabst Blue Ribbon and a Marlboro? No!
Father Flanagan's post-mortem baptismal kit. Dead kid tested, Mother Teresa approved.
Is that the Pope and John Paul? Jim Jones and Jimmy Swaggart, huh? I can see that coming. Neil deGrasse, what are you doing? Holy, holy, holy is the Lord. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord.
Thanks, Father Flanagan.
Damn them to an eternity in heaven for only $59.99. They wouldn't appreciate it, but you'll feel better, and that's the point, isn't it? Get yours now. Your heathen loved one's time is running out.
Holy, holy, holy is the Lord. This is some bullshit. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord. In three, we are back, and now I want to. So, the evil one mentioned, and she even said it before it came up in the commercial, in that postmortem baptismal kit commercial, that her favorite part is you doing the holy water like this. She's like, she's so into it, you know. People in the chat were saying you're the villain. You make such a good villain.
I try my best.
Hell is the same for all theists. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord. That's right. It sounds very boring. Atheist hell is where everyone who doesn't believe in silly gods goes. Atheist hell would be that heaven is real. That would be atheist hell, I think. And then made to go there. Oh my God, it sounds so boring. Send me to hell. At least we spend some time screaming. That's more fun than holy, holy, holy. All right, now we're all going to scream in F major.
Yeah, make a chorus out of it.
Yeah.
Make it sound good.
And really, with all the good scientists that are down there, I'm sure it's air conditioned by now. I mean,
you'd hope.
They
probably cured cancer.
Maybe. Did you hear that they've cured type 1 and type 2 diabetes?
No.
I heard in the news over the past 2 weeks, 2 separate news reports. One, I think it's a place in Germany, and the other one, I think it's South Korea.
Oh.
Or something like that. But
wow.
First it was type 1 diabetes. They found, I say, a cure. I'm sure it's still in the early whatever. And then the second one was type 2, which I am type 2. So that's why it caught my attention. It's like, oh yeah, give me that pig liver.
That's interesting. Good. I mean, that's great to hear.
Yeah.
I love hearing that.
Yeah. Science, right?
Let's just hope they can, if that is accurate, that they can eventually make that available to everybody and not at some ridiculous price.
Right. Chris George points out again, Christ uses hell and fiery metaphorically. Gehenna, the burning garbage valley outside the wall of man. I picked that up. I know that. She knows that. We know that. You know who doesn't know that? Most of Christianity. They don't know that. They have no idea. They think hell is the hellfire burning. At least the Christian nationalists I'm stuck with dealing here in the United States. The modern right-wing Christian Santa Claus following, Satan is the devil. That's what they think.
They know no nuance.
Yeah. Well, they don't know nothing
care.
about. Yeah, it's not like they sit around going, "Oh, there was this garbage pit outside of Jerusalem." No, they don't think about that. They don't care about that. I'm saying most of them.
I care.
Most don't know that.
I care.
That's the front on which I approach them. I point out how stupid it is that their religion thinks that there's a burning place in hell forever and always. How evil is your God if it's going to burn someone forever and ever? Of course, we know Me and you, Chris, me and you, we know that that's not what the text says. But
Real talk, we literally just explained it. Jesus is speaking about hell metaphorically. There's several words that they're using, and they conflate them all into one word when that's not what Jesus is referring to. He's just referring to it as death. Once you're done, you're dead. You're dead forever. There's no earning forever.
Right.
You're misinterpreting.
I'm willing to give you that. Yeah. Real talk. I'm willing to give you that. There's a hell. Sure. And your God is such a loving creature that it is going to burn people for an eternity for simply not believing in it. Not for doing horrible things. It can do those horrible things, as we've discussed, as long as those people believe they're doing it in the name of God. So, interesting stuff. Yeah, the whole notion of hell is an indictment on your God. If you believe in hell, then you believe in a God who is fucking horrific, who would burn men, women, and children forever just because they didn't worship him. Isn't that horrific?
No wonder we got PTSD and religious trauma syndrome, you know? That's so terrifying.
Real talk says it's not eternal punishment.
So what do you think hell is? I'm confused. It's not.
Yeah.
So you think it is just a once and done. So you agree with me that
is there a time limit on hell? Is that what there is? Are you in hell based on how long you're in hell? It is dependent upon how many sins or the type of sins you made. So eventually, not only do you spend time in literal fucking hell, but then whenever you're done paying for your sins, you actually get shuffled up to heaven and have to go through more hell.
You have to wait in line. There's a desk.
Yes, you wait in line to worship the Lord.
You have to because there's someone at the desk has to stamp your paperwork.
Yeah. The God of the Bible is all about hate and anger and violence. And, there's even a well of souls underneath the throne of God. And those well of souls are the souls who have been slain doing God's work and who have been unjustly slain. And those souls sit down there calling out for vengeance for their blood. What the fuck? I mean, that's what apologetics is for.
Yeah. That's what it does. It gives you an excuse for your weird ass beliefs.
And whenever they talk about Jesus being all love and stuff, they talk about Jesus being the lamb. I like how they're like, Jesus is the light. Jesus says, I am the light, I am the way. So everywhere in the Old Testament where they talk about a light, and it's in a good context, they're talking about Jesus.
He's the what is it? The light bearer, the light bringer?
Actually Satan is the bringer of light bringer, I think. Isn't that Lucifer?
They're both like deemed the bringer of light, which is just so weird. It's none of it makes sense.
Yep. Rainbow Ash says, love and worship me, or I'll set you on fire in the basement forever. God, probably. That's it. When you stop and think about it objectively, it's classic abusive relationship. Classic gaslighting, abuse, love me or I'm going to hurt you. These kinds of things. It's just, and look what we get from it. Do you want to read that one?
Oh, sure. Thank you, Fern Lovebond, for $2. Happy day off from Seneca Nation lands. Where is that at? Where's that? I feel dumb.
I want to say Seneca would be, isn't that like somewhere Alabama through? I don't know. I guess I don't know. I was thinking it was
it sounds southern, but I do.
Well, I think there was an Indian. No, is that Seneca who did that? No, I don't remember. Let's find out.
Indigenous, I believe.
Buffalo, Niagara. Okay, there you go. That is not Southwestern or Southeastern. Abused to Amuse. Good morning, Terry BB. Thank you for joining us. AR is here. All of you wonderful people. Theoretically, how is it really when we learn the series of, that's the whole thing, though. A lot of people, again, it doesn't really matter what we know of and what we think of or believe in as far as hell. The thing is we are dealing with a lot of people, a lot of dangerous people who believe it. So, the God of Eden is an abusive prick, says Zarkroz, who set up the fall as an excuse to punish generations of people. Not wrong. We've talked about, I made a video on that, how Eve was the victim. Adam was a prick who just ratted on her, never stood up for her, probably led her astray. If anything, he probably was like, hey, baby, would you go try one of those apples? Knowing God said it would kill them, but, if it doesn't kill her, I'll have one.
If she survives, then I'm golden.
And guess what? God lied. Once again, God lied. They ate the apples and they didn't die.
Nope. They were fine.
Good morning, John Papiano. Thank you for joining us. John says, I want to say thank you to Chris and Ryan again for streaming today. Thanks for being with us today. We appreciate you both so much. Thank you. We appreciate that. I love hearing that. That's fantastic. It makes it worth it. Eternal paradise for just following basic commandments. Shouldn't we be thankful to God for this? No. Really, I mean, I know it sounds that way possibly to you, but what happens if you don't follow those commandments? What happens if now we talked about the story of Moses, right? Moses was told to talk to a rock, and instead of talking to a rock, he struck it with his staff. And for that sin, he was not allowed to get into the promised land. How do you know How do you know somewhere along the way you didn't blaspheme against the Lord? Somewhere along the way you didn't fuck up, you didn't misstep, you didn't slide down that slippery slope that you can never recover from. And now you're going to waste your entire life worshiping a God that's never going to love you. Never, because that one time, a long time ago, you struck the rock instead of talking to it. Interesting. And what happens in this perfect world of yours, this perfect, paradise? But just the fact that in this notion, there is a hell, there is a paradise, but there's also an ultimate anti-paradise. That is an indictment of your God. Why would it send somebody there rather than just blinking them out of existence? Why would it do that? If it could. Why would your God send snakes to starving people who were complaining about the food they were getting to sting them and kill them with pain and agony instead of just giving them better food?
Maybe they misunderstood and they were supposed to eat the snakes.
Maybe that was it. They were supposed to eat that's, you never know.
Delicious.
These are all interesting things. I want to say these are all probably things that you never knew, Mr. Real Talk, and you probably don't believe. But go look them up. It's easy enough. You can go in the Old Testament, look in the Old Testament, or in the New Testament, look in Revelations, and you'll see where it talks about the people who are under the throne of heaven, who are crying out for God to go get vengeance. You'll see how Jesus, sweet, loving, meek, and mild, shows up in a blood-soaked robe with a sword, ready to go slay the non-believers. Or did you not read that part? It's really funny that these people don't even know.
I think Jesus should have a baton, more like what Teal'c has, a staff, like a staff weapon instead of a sword.
Oh, good thinking.
Yeah,
a staff weapon. Yeah, a ranged weapon. Yeah, he needs a ranged weapon.
Yeah.
I mean, even David had a sling.
Right. Like, dude, you I don't know about when's the last time you fought? Like, have you been up in heaven training? I'm just saying, like, you think that you're really good with the sword, but your skill might not match.
Might not be there.
I mean, I could be wrong.
But who knows? Maybe that's what Jesus has been doing up there for the past 2,000 years, getting his game on with a sword, doing fencing practice and whatnot. Thank you, Amy Nicole Cervantes, for the $5 super chat. Says, much love from Kansas. I love this group of sinners so very much. We are right. I got the best chat, man. You guys are fantastic. I do feel, though, it's time to start growing. I don't know what we need to do it. We've had more. We need to get more. It's not that, it's just like we need more. We need more people. There's more crazy people out there like us, atheists, liberal nutbags.
Indeed.
And I think they just haven't found us yet. We need to figure out how to make them find us. Anyway, I'm going to do us a little commercial. Ooh, what do we want? Do we want the Pharaoh's Curse? I thought I saw Pharaoh's Curse's stuff going around. I think I'll give them the Pharaoh's Curse. They want their Pharaoh's Curse. Here's the Crotch Cootie song, guys. We'll be back in just a minute.
Mi burrito es tan bueno. It burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. El ataco bueno bueno. It stings like a bee. They told me she was his sister. Now I'm plagued between the knees. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. Mi burrito está no bueno, a full bladder I fear. Abraham's lies and Sarai's touch have left me itching front to rear. Mi burrito está bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. Mi burrito está no bueno, a full bladder I fear. Abraham's lies and Sarai's touch have left me itching front to rear. Mi burrito está no bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs.
One, and we're back. I wasn't kidding.
I had you muted. I'm sorry. I didn't hear you. I didn't realize. My bad.
I thought I actually warned her in time this time, and you had me muted.
Sorry.
So, real talk, I appreciate your questions. I don't mean to be a jerk. I'm not trying to be a jerk. No effort involved. Just like I say, sometimes we so often get people who are disingenuous. And here you are possibly trying to be genuous, and I'm being a jerk. So I'll try not to be a jerk. I wasn't too bad of a jerk. I could be wrong, but I'm like, how wrong could you be? How ignorant could you possibly be?
This wasn't on a 10 today.
All right. Hive size here. Bree is here. Good morning, Bree.
Good morning, Bree.
Bree says, I want to slap the pole and tell it I've been here since 2020.
Wowsies.
Yeah.
You're OG.
Mm-hmm. Bree was one of the originals back in the day. You know who I never see? Oh, I can't even think of his name. He was one of the, something cripple. Critical Cripple. He's an atheist who was one of the first people in my chats and watched the show and encouraged me. And he was there through all the whole 2019 part, but I haven't seen Critical. Yeah, Critical. There's the delay. The wife didn't know. Yeah. So, but this time I haven't seen him. Let me see. Somebody tagged me. I saw it. Oh, he's a troll. He's banned elsewhere. Oh, this individual. You know, I believe it. You know, I don't doubt. I want to wish the best, as long as, I mean, they're relatively cool. Maybe they'll learn something. But is it really, or is it just a phone on a rack of phones in room somewhere in some southern China? You know, after watching the thing about how many of these people are actually not real, and they're actually sock accounts that are in Europe and Africa and Southern Asia and Russia. Did you heard about that, right?
I did. I saw that. That was very revealing. I wonder what that's about.
So there's that. There's where these people aren't really where you think they are. Then there's also the bot farms, and it's just where, like, you'll see 2 or 3 people manning a couple of computers, and they'll have hundreds of phones in front of them, and those phones are out there arguing with people, debating on behalf of Donald Trump or on behalf of, you know, God or whatever. I mean, it's really a right wing. It's disgusting how they fell for it. But MAGA based Bangladesh, right? Theoretically. Let's see.
I saw the Department of Homeland Security. It said Israel.
Yeah.
And it said something about like it open on the Israeli App Store. I was like, okay, I don't know what that's about. This country, nothing is surprising anymore. I have no idea.
You wouldn't be surprised. Disappointed, possibly. Surprised.
No.
You know, I wouldn't have even been surprised had that been exposed before Trump. But, you know, because Netanyahu is such a fascist authoritarian, Donald Trump is, the kind of match made in hell, really, if you ask me.
Yeah, but buddies.
Yeah. I wonder if, I don't think Netanyahu ever has any association with Epstein. I don't think he does. But you know who does? Steve Bannon. A whole lot of very, going way back, very intimate relations with Steve Bannon and Epstein. So I don't think enough people are calling that out. You know, for those who don't know, Epstein, the day he was arrested, he was plotting with Steve Bannon on how to rehabilitate his image. That's what they were doing. Steve Bannon and this guy, this is
like, knowing what this creep did, you obviously are a creep too.
Obviously, clearly, if you're with them,
you're tapping for the broski. You might as well just be guilty of it. Right? You think it's okay.
I want to mention that after this show, whenever I kill the stream, it will forward you over to Ember's stream, and she's streaming about something fantastic and wonderful today, I'm sure. I have no idea what it is, but it's always good. I do go get the link every morning, but I'm usually like half asleep whenever I put the link, so I don't know what's going on. So, but it's going to be good. Go do the thing. Child, does it matter? Let me see. Okay, then it's subjective. I'd have to catch up on that. Let's see. The reason I ask if you were circumcised is because if there's a verse. Well, you know, that is interesting. How do some Christians feel about circumcision? That was the first covenant. They're not really keen on the first covenant.
But a lot still, it's interesting. Like my ex, he was Catholic. They big into choppity chip chop.
Isn't that weird that they would be though? The first covenant was the choppy chop. The second covenant actually got rid of the choppy chop. The one with Jesus, the covenant with Jesus, actually got rid of the choppy chop, and yet they still do it. I guess it's sort of like worshiping Christmas trees, like Christmas trees. Foreskins are the Christmas trees of the body, I guess. Yep.
It's just, why do they hold on to that one?
I've never had a foreskin. Well, that I remember. So I'm not a tad, but I wasn't Jewish either. My parents were not Jewish or Catholic. You know, I don't know why they decided to do it. I don't know. I'm grateful.
It's almost just becoming like that's what you do. It's just commonplace. It's like expected.
Well, I believe there's a hygiene issue as well.
So they say. I mean, they basically are telling you that men are incapable of taking care and cleaning their penis. So it's just better now to get rid of it because we know that you're not going to properly wash. If that's
And they're not wrong.
Do, that's what I'm saying. If that's what you think you need to do, because men do not know how to have proper hygiene down there, I guess.
Right. Well, you know, they have entire like medical, I want to say schools of thought on how to treat these things, these symptoms that come. They have, I want to say teachings. They teach you how to, what goes wrong, because there's like bacteria and there's a lot of things that are there that we don't have to deal with. And my understanding is it gets real ucky and yucky if you don't do something, if you don't take care of it.
Yeah, you got to like make sure you're pulling it down and make sure there's no drippy drip, you know,
right? No drippy
urine
drip
throughout the day, because if urine drips down into that crevice basically that's created, you'll lose elasticity over time.
We don't want to lose elasticity over time.
No, I mean then you'll have to get a circumcision at a later age, and which would be a lot more painful.
I'm going to tell you guys something interesting and fun. There was a time in sports that I believe it was like the Olympics, early Olympics, that men of Jewish descent would take a piece of string and pull their penis and kind of make it look like a fake foreskin. Oh, they would do, because they wrestled nude. Oh, they did these things nude. So they actually would try to hide the fact that they were not, or that they were circumcised, by wrapping a string around there, you know, pulling it out, your flaccid penis, you can kind of pull out and make it look that way. And they would apparently do that.
Really?
How do I know these things? How do I know these things?
Wait, and who is this that did this?
This is Jews, but people who were circumcised.
Oh, back in the day.
Back in the day, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I never heard of such.
And that's why I'm not really sure at what day period, but obviously it's not modern Olympics because they wear some kind of skivvies, you know. So it'd have to be back in the day. And it may not even be the Olympics necessarily. It could just be a regular any place where they didn't want to. Yeah. And we've joked about that on the show, that they would actually show their dicks
to show, you know, if whether or not people were.
Yeah. So if I'm coming to you and I'm going to come into your town and you're a bunch of Jewish people, how do I prove that I'm also a Jew? I got to show you my dick. That's what I got to do, because that's how you prove it, right? I think it's odd that men would.
How would a woman prove it?
That's the whole thing. Women don't have a covenant with God. They never.
I guess so. It doesn't matter.
I've thought that for a while. There's no covenant. Women have no covenant with God. Christian in the chat, or Christians in the chat, if I'm wrong, let me know. But I don't remember there being a covenant.
I really don't know. I don't remember.
Female circumcision was not a thing at the time.
Thank fucking God. Shouldn't be a thing now. And
that's not really a Muslim thing. It's more of a cultural thing in that area, but it happens to be a lot of Muslims involved, and some people think it. But it's not.
Yeah, I think honestly, it probably stems from. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. I think it probably stems from colonization somewhere.
Giles mentions, what about the circumcised heart? I remember something about a scripture about a circumcised heart. Jesus in the New Testament talking about that. But that tracks, because at that time, they were circumcised. Circumcision was a practice everywhere. It was talking about taking off the part you don't want and getting rid of it. I can see how they would say that about the heart. Then, you know, it makes sense. He's gotten the old ball squeeze. Later, John, thank you for joining us. Hope you have a great holiday. If you celebrate the holiday. Let's see here. All right. I think, you know what I'm going to do, guys? I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to go eat some cinnamon buns and bacon with the wife.
Yum.
It stinks so good. I hope you guys all have. I'm going to read our super chats real quick. Fern Lovebomb, thank you for the $2 super chat. Said happy day off from Seneca Nation lands. Thank you. I was thinking Iroquois. I think it was the Iroquois.
I found it up north. It's underneath the the Lake Ontario.
Yeah.
I think it was Lake Ontario. I already forget now. I looked it up.
Niagara Falls, around the Niagara Falls area, somewhere. Okay. But there was I think it was the Iroquois or Sequoia. Sequoia was came up with the first Indian written language.
Oh, really?
Anyway, if I remember, it's been a day or three. All right, guys, I am off to save the world. Oh, yeah, I got to finish my things. And for $5, Nicole Cervantes said, much love from Kansas. I love this group of sinners so very much. Thank you guys for your support. I very much appreciate you. Have a wonderful, safe holiday. And we will see you tomorrow for Sci-Fi Friday. Remember, Riddick, Chronicles of Riddick, movie 2 in the series. Go watch Chronicles of Riddick. We're going to be talking about it tomorrow as a group. It's going to be our group movie thing. Be there or be square. Thank you all, my friends. Thank you, Ryan. We'll see you. Sin safely, my friends. Take care.
Got a house that smells like old cheese and shame. Father Flanagan's flesh candles change the game. Goat-scented thrills for your soul's delight. Light it up, baby, make your room right. When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. Smell the goat in a holy zone. Father Flanagan, here to set the tone. Confession booths, busy, no need to stress. Light a candle and forget your mess. Gross odors vanish like sins in the wind. With each wick, guess who's your new best friend? When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. Smell the goat in a holy zone. Father Flanagan, here to set the tone. Lambs and calves may have their day, but goat's the scent that leads the way. Clean your slate with a sniff so pure. Father Flanagan's got the cure. Turn your home into a saintly space. With every whiff, find redeeming grace. From your living room to the kitchen sink, light the goat candle, don't even think.